So we made it to Milan, ahead of Newcastle United's big Champions League Group F opener against the Rossoneri tomorrow night. An AC Milan side that got beat 5-1, remember, off Inter on Saturday. Maybe shouldn't say that too loudly around here, but Newcastle looking to really, make an impact in the Champions League. So we're going to take a look around Milan today, but first we'll have a quick recap of the journey here. So the journey to Milan starts here on Tyneside, reflecting on last night's 1-0 win over Brentford. It was one of them where I think Newcastle just needed to get the result. The performance was secondary, the result was everything, and I think they got it going into that game against Milan. And look, certainly they're in better fettle than AC Milan themselves, who got beat 5-1 off Inter in a crushing derby defeat. Another one of those 5-1 derby defeats. So one of those occasions for Newcastle now. It's a prestige moment. Newcastle heading over to Milan in the numbers, lots of fans going from lots of different airports. You can follow us on the journey for this one, and this Group F encounter is really where the season can start. It can be reignited for Newcastle with a big result in Milan, but the experience, being back in the Champions League and everything that goes with it, is certainly something Newcastle fans have been looking forward to ever since the moment Nick Pope secured that point against Leicester with a great save. It was one of many moments to get them there, but Newcastle now can enjoy that experience for real, but it's only enjoyable if you get good results, and certainly Milan will be the wounded animal. So as I say, the journey starts here. We move on now to the airport and see how Newcastle can get on over in Milan.
So we're here in Manchester Airport. Some would say we're a little bit early for the Champions League, but we're just getting there with plenty of preparation. I'm here with Lee Ryder, the Chronicle's chief sports writer. Nice and easy journey down so far, isn't it? Good start of the trip.
Yeah, very smooth. You always like to get here a little bit early, but perhaps we've probably overdone it a bit, but I'd rather be early than late, and here we are at Manchester Airport.
Better safe than sorry, and more time for pints, more importantly, and maybe a cheeky Burger King. Now, obviously we know, huge importance, fantastic game that we're going to witness at the San Siro on Tuesday, but just talking about last night quickly, how important was it that they got back to winning ways domestically before going into the Champions League game?
Yeah, huge. I think it wasn't pretty, as was said last night, but it didn't have to be. It just needed to be getting 3 points on the board. The result was always going to be more important than the performance. I think even though it was an ugly game, if you like, there was still a lot of positives to take. The clean sheet, the fact Newcastle were creating chances again, even if they didn't take them all. They got the penalty, which Callum Wilson duly stepped up and took, and it probably could have been 2 or 3-0 in the end when you weigh up all the other factors. But look, 1-0, gritty. I would have accepted that before the kick-off. I'm sure you would have as well, and it just sends them off to Milan in the perfect mood.
It does. It gives them a little spring in their step before that massive clash, and even better that AC Milan also got absolutely hammered last night by Inter Milan. Hopefully they're not out for revenge on Tuesday. Lee, just give our listeners a little bit of context as to what we're going to be doing out there for the next couple of days.
Yeah, I think obviously first and foremost we're going to go there, we're going to set the scene, we're going to have a look around Milan, we're going to see what's to offer. I've never been to Milan before, I don't think you have either, so it's a real debut for us in that part of the world. We're going to see where the fans are going to be going, we're going to see what's on offer for them, where they can go if they haven't got tickets, things like that. And we're going to be going to the stadium itself, a very iconic stadium, rebuilt for the Italian 90 World Cup, which a lot of older fans will remember, and obviously the big one, Alan Shearer getting 2 goals there against Inter. So a huge historic occasion, and one where I think the fans are really going to embrace this. First game back in the Champions League for 20 years. Let's look forward to it, let's enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's the key message. I know Newcastle United fans, there's going to be thousands of them over there in the next couple of days, 4,500 of them in the San Siro. As we've just said, we'll have loads of content for you over the next couple of days on Chronicle Live, and make sure you enjoy it wherever you're watching the game.
So what happens next in Milan or Newcastle? Well, a lot of the fans are actually here before the team. They train back on Tyneside about lunchtime today, and for Eddie Howe, I think he's resisted the temptation to train at the San Siro Stadium. Whether the players might have a walk around there later and familiarise themselves, I don't know, but they're definitely not training there. According to the official UEFA guidebook, they will train in Newcastle, and the press conference takes place at 7 PM. We'll be there for that. Sandro Tonelli, a quick return to Italy for him, and a quick return to talk to the Italian press. So we'll be at that later, so stay with us.